Hello, beautiful people. Welcome again to the show. So, this is the three-part series of the Ayurvedic body types. And what I'll do is I'll just repeat what the Ayurvedic principles are, what Ayurveda is from the very first episode, so that you can get an understanding before we dive deep into this body type today.
Most of the time, people hear about Ayurveda, maybe from turmeric or massage. These are the few entry points to Ayurveda. So it's good to ask that there's more into it. So Ayurveda is defined as the traditional medicine of India. It's a system of healthcare that developed along with the development of civilization in the land of India. As we develop as humans, we face different problems, healthcare problems, how to boost the health, how to prevent diseases, how to address different issues we have. And they tried and tested different herbs and minerals or whatever available around. And it's quite amazing to learn that they actually developed Ayurveda through a scientific method of that time, which is quite relevant even now today.
This is episode 88. I am so happy that you're here, and thank you for joining my show, your coach, Helen Yuskovic. I am on a worldwide mission to help people get confident in putting themselves first, because I used to put myself second my whole life. And because of that, I experienced every unhealthy relationship possible. An unhealthy relationship with myself, my health, my wealth, my intimate relationships, my family, my friends, and my career. I'm now living in an abundance that I used to just dream about. So I want to pave the way for you too. It's time, guys. It's time that you live in the life of your dreams as well. So let's take a step towards that right now. P.S. Subscribe to my podcast on your app now so that you always tune in to my new episodes. Welcome back to the show, Dr. Rafeena. We're here for part 3 of really delving deep into the Ayurvedic body types. And today we're going to talk all about the Vatta body type. So we spent time talking about Kapha, we spent time talking about Pitta, and now we get to spend time talking about Vata. So firstly, Dr. Rafeena, thank you again for coming onto the show.
Thank you, Helen. It's always a pleasure to be back here.
Thank you. Let's dive straight into it.
Of course.
Could you tell us a little bit about the Vata body type?
Okay. So, we were talking about Kapha and Pitta, and now it's time for Vata. So when it comes to Vata body types, generally they have a small frame and they have a lean body. It's not easy for them to gain weight, and it's so easy for them to lose weight. When they are stressed, they lose weight, And generally, they tend to be on dry side, so they can have a dry skin, dry hair, and they can have visible veins, and the joints can be quite visible as well. And coming to the physiological features, usually the appetite is quite variable. That means they feel hungry sometimes, they don't feel hungry sometimes. And they have variable sleep. They struggle to fall asleep. When they are in balance, they can have variable sleep. But generally, Vata body type can struggle with their sleep to some extent.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So if you have a good routine in place, you would be able to take care of yourself in a way that you have a good sleep. But as soon as you miss it, that will be reflected on your sleep if you have Vata body type. And regarding bowel movements, it can get hard easily. So if you don't have enough fiber in your diet, it can be a Vata body type can easily suffer with a constipation. So, and the Vata body type, they are quick. They are great initiators. That means, they can jump onto some task and they can begin something so easily. And they like to move. They like to talk. They are so active in general. So generally, Vata people are the group of the people who keep the house active and loud,
Oh, they sound like fun people to be around.
Definitely. Yeah. So these are some of the features of Vata body type.
So just to recap, it's hard for them to gain weight, but it's easy for them to lose weight.
Yes.
I need some Vata in me.
Yeah. So, as you were talking about, all body types are good. Generally, we tend to crave for the body type opposite to us because, as you said, all body types are good and you're born with that body type and you can't change your body type. But all body type have its own blessings and its own challenges. So, there are certain things that come so naturally and easy to you that you don't have to even think about it, but there are certain things that you have to put great and consistent effort to maintain it. So we know our challenge, even though you realize that it's coming from your body type or not, you know your challenge. So naturally, you tend to crave for the opposite body type for whom that's so easy.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's important to become aware of what your specific body type is so that you can realize sometimes, oh, for a Vata body type, I'm constipated. Have I been eating enough fiber? Maybe I'm out of balance. Or, oh, I'm losing weight. Why is that? I'm not trying to. Maybe I'm stressed. Is there something that I'm doing that's, taking me out of balance? So it's really great that you're giving us all of these points and areas and aspects of each body type so people can piece together who they are and what they are and what their makeup is and how to help themselves.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to share about any key distinctions with a Vata body type as opposed to a Pitta body type or a Kapha body type?
Yeah, so Vata body type, generally they are quite tall and generally they have slender fingers. These are some distinct features. And yeah, otherwise, most of the body features are quite small, like tend to be have smaller eyes. And these are some features. And one observation I have noticed is there are many Vata people who came to me who told me that they don't know what's an appetite.
Oh,
So that happens when you're not taking care of yourself or not enough. I won't say that you're not taking care of yourself at all, but not enough. And there's one more thing that I want to clarify at this point because we are born with the body type and it's something that we can't change. But the importance of knowing the body type is we can help ourselves with our routines and lifestyle so that we don't have to live with those problems. So, as you said, if you're not getting regular bowel movements or if you're prone to constipation, you need to regularly add fiber in your diet. Make sure you're drinking water properly so that you don't have to face that trouble. So you have to just make sure that your daily routine it's addressed. That's all.
And would you say that the Vata body type is those people that sometimes forget to eat and they might go into dinner and think, oh, I didn't eat lunch?
Totally. When stressed, Vata simply forgets their body. So not just about eating, they can even forget to drink water or take a rest or sometimes even using the toilet on time. They can push back everything aside and just try to do what they are doing, or they can be so much carried away by that stress or the task that they are supposed to do.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. And we're not going to talk about it today, but I know that lots of people can be a mixture of two different body types and they're more kapha, for example, but they do have some pitta, and then we're not going to delve into that because that's why I want to have you here every week because there's so much to talk about with Ayurveda. So for those of you listening, if you're thinking, hey, I'm a little bit of this and I'm a little bit of that, then you're probably right.
True.
But just see someone like Dr. Rafeena that could actually assess you and help you to figure out who you are, what you are, and how to best help yourself.
Totally. We can have a mixed body type.
Yeah. And recently I had an autoimmune disorder, and the first person that I ran to was Dr. Rafeena. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm losing my hair. I've got bald patches. I have alopecia. And she was like, that's okay, Helen. We'll just get you back into balance. And she just makes you calm right down. And I'm happy to say that I've been doing everything you're saying. And I do have lots of new follicles in those patches where the hair was missing. So
good.
Thank you very much for that.
That's good. Thank you.
Let's talk about self-care when it comes to this body type. What are some of the best ways to self-care for the Vata body type?
The mantra for Vata is routine. And most of the time, it doesn't come naturally to other body type. They can be so erratic. So make sure you have a routine in place, including self-care. So not just about, what time to wake up and the meetings times and things like that. Make sure you decide what time you wake up, what time you are going to do exercise, what time you are going to eat, what time you need to go to bed. So routine is the key for Vata. And apart from making sure that you are doing them, it also gives you the relief that you know when you are going to do that, so that you are not thinking about your next task when you are doing something else already.
Yeah.
So you're doing something, and most of the time with Vata body type, what can happen is you're doing a task right now, but you'll be so much, driven to think about the next task and move to the next task. And if you're imbalanced, quite possibly before you finish your task, you can move to the next task. That means, end of the day, you have so many half done things.
Yep.
So make sure you have a routine in place so that you're not, driven that way when the things are going to happen. That itself will help to calm your nerves.
Sounds like they can get easily distracted.
Totally, yeah.
It sounds like the routine will actually, if they have a routine from when they wake up, then it sounds like they'll be able to sort of maintain some calm throughout the day instead of making themselves feel so overwhelmed.
That's true. That's true. Some of the key things that I recommend when planning for the routine is actually plan your routine the day before so that you can begin from the time that you are waking up. But it shouldn't be just before you sleep, because as Vata body type, sleep is not that great. If you have some thoughts, if you get into some worries at that time, it can affect the quality of sleep. So I would recommend, do around 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. So you have a good clarity that what's going to happen for the next day. Then plan your next day.
Yeah.
So that would be best. And always include some buffer times in between so that even if something goes wrong, you can still catch up. And the most important thing is plan in a practical way. So really prioritize. If you have, 10 tasks to do, look into that, is that realistic for a day, even though it's so important? So plan anything that's humanly not possible. Keep it practical, really prioritize, seek help wherever needed.
Should they exercise?
So, exercise is important for everyone, but when it comes to Vata, exercise is important not to lose calories or burn the fat or anything. It's important to organize your thoughts and release some of your energy, because Vata is so energy driven. So it can help to, contain your energy in a nice way and release extra energy. We can relate Vata so much with kids. If we take them out for a play, it's easy to handle them, and they are much more organized and listening. So just like that, Vata needs exercise, but simple one. So it should be gentle. And I highly recommend an outdoor exercise routine for Vata at 20 to 30 minutes, yoga or walking, something very gentle, something like that.
Yeah, beautiful. Dr. Rafeena, it's time for your curveball. Are you ready to play?
Of course. It's fun. It's curious.
I know. What would be your dream next holiday?
Always one of my next holidays is India. So that's my annual recharging.
And do you go back home?
Yeah. So that's one. And the next holiday I really want to go somewhere in Australia is Tassie.
Yep. Same. Interesting.
I really want to go to Tasmania. I haven't been there yet.
Oh, I haven't been there either.
So I want to go there.
I would love to end the show with a big thank you so much for helping all of us understand our body types a lot better when it comes to Ayurveda. And before you go, is there anything else that you would like to share?
Of course. So another key aspect for Vata body type is to make sure that they eat on time and they keep themselves hydrated. So hydration can come from water and also from healthy fat. And it can be through your diet or it can be through a massage. So, through diet is, of course, important, but self massage is so calming and so balancing for Vata. So, massage, daily massage is something that I highly recommend for Vata. And coming back to the food, it's very important that you eat warm and cooked foods. So I don't really recommend raw or cold foods for Vata, warm and cooked. So there's, as you said earlier, there's always that we can talk more and more about, Vata or what we can do with each body type. And one last reminder for Vata body type is regular massages. So get professional massages regularly as well. A good detailed massage, that's something that can really help you. And it can be easy for you to imbalance your gut because you can be forgetful with your food. And we can easily grab a cold drink or a cold food, making the gut upset again. Then remember to help yourself by seeing a professional.
Yeah, thank you so much. And there's nothing better than getting an Ayurvedic massage. If you haven't tried one yet, I highly recommend you do. I'm excited because I'm coming to see you next week and I get to get my massage.
Great.
So thank you again, Dr. Rafeena, for your time.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you, and all the very best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you. And those of you listening, if there's anything else that you would like Dr. Rafeena to talk about, just write on in and let me know what you would like us to talk about, and I'll invite her back on the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Helen.
And that is the third body type, the Vata body type. A little summary of the Vata body type is that these people tend to have a smaller frame. They are usually quite slender and they have things like long fingers and long toes, and it's quite easy to see their bones, which is something that is quite opposite to the Kapha body type. If you remember the Kapha body type, they have a much more bigger frame. Sometimes the skin of a Vata body type can be oily in some regions and rough and dry in other regions. They can tan easily. Their eyes can be quite small when it's compared to their face. And their eyes might be brown, dark blue, even grey. And they usually have thin and few eyelashes and things like eyebrows. And they can tend to have like a dry and a hoarse voice. Some of their physical tendencies is that they can have an irregular appetite. Sometimes they feel hungry and sometimes they don't. And it just makes so much sense when I think of all my Vata friends, and I just always think why aren't you hungry? How come you're not thinking about food as much as I am? And it's because they have such a different body type, which is so funny. Something else to know about the Vata body type is that they can have an irregular sleep and they might wake a few times at night. And these people can lack the ability to preserve energy and they can be cold to touch. Some mental features of the Vata body type is that they have a vivid imagination and they have vivid creativity, which is super cool. They're really great at starting things. They learn quickly, but the thing is they also tend to forget quickly. Some of the emotional tendencies of this body type is that they can become easily anxious and fearful or frightened, and their moods can fluctuate unpredictably. They can be irritated by things like loud noise or the cold, and they may change their decisions quite easily. Some of the prevalent diseases for this body type is things like anxiety disorders, aches or pains or degeneration of joints and nerves, muscle stiffness, and respiratory diseases, digestive disorders, and any sort of disease related to the hair or the scalp and the skin. So some of the great ways to care, again, for this body type is to really be conscious of maintaining your weight within the limits, because remember the Vata body type, they can easily become even slimmer than they already are because they can just tend to forget, or their appetite can be a little bit all over the shop. So make sure you eat and make sure you rest properly if you are this body type. Include a lot of water in your diet, oil and ghee in food, just to ensure moistening of your tissues, which can tend to be a little bit more drier than other body types. So because this body type doesn't preserve energy, you need to eat in time. So small, warm, and regular meals is really great for this body type. And what's funny is that you guys can benefit from sweet, salty, and sour foods that are gently spiced and adequately oiled, which is like my favorite stuff. So generally sweet, fleshy fruits like mango, banana, stone fruits, grapes, cooked or steamed vegetables, and nuts are really good for the Vata body type. And the things that don't really work are salads, dry fruits, raw meat, and cereals. This body type can lose their voice quite easily. So having a warm milk with licorice can help. It's an Ayurvedic sort of remedy. And as we mentioned before, the Vata body type is easily prone to dry and chappy skin, dandruff, split ends. So a daily head and body massage with warm oil is highly recommended. So you could use sesame oil or coconut oil, and this oil massage can actually help to boost the metabolism. I love doing the oil massage, especially in winter, because it makes the blood start to circulate more and you feel warmer. So if you're a cold person, then after your shower or bath at nighttime, give yourself a self-massage with an oil and you already instantly feel warm, which is really beautiful. Meditation is great for the Vata body type. And another thing is that the Vata body type just needs to take extra care during the rains or the end of summer and the end of winter just to maintain balance. So cold and rough winds can increase the Vata. So detoxifying and oil massage treatments prior or during the seasons can really help to prevent disease and help to balance Vata. Hope you found this useful, guys. There is so much to Ayurveda, and I am obsessed with it because it's really helped me a lot. And in my businesses, I was first introduced to Ayurveda when I was a beauty therapist at the tender age of 21 or 22. And I started using these principles in my beauty salon, and I've taken them with me ever since. And whenever I need to heal from anything, this is the practice that I go to first because I just find that it works. And yes, talk to you guys soon. Thank you times infinity for spending time with me. It really means a lot. Putting yourself first will really help escalate your goals, your dreams, and I love being on the journey with you. So make sure you come and tell me on my Instagram at Whole Health, which is HOL_health, and comment below this podcast photo to share your thoughts on my show today. And if you enjoyed it, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify so that I can keep bringing amazing value to you. I'm sending you truckloads of love, power, and joy. Bye for now.